What's up everybody? It's Young here with a Batman Arkham Knight trailer analysis. Today I'll be analyzing the Ace Chemicals trailer, which shows off cinematic gameplay of this highly anticipated title. The first thing I would like to point out is the trailer's title, Ace Chemicals Infiltration Trailer Part 1. According to Rocksteady, this is the first of 3 gameplay videos for Arkham Knight that they are planning to release. Another thing to note about this trailer is that it is an abridged version of the behind closed doors demo shown during E3 2014, which showed Chapter 2 of the game's main campaign. If you read impressions articles of Arkham Knight during this event, you will notice that their description of what they saw is quite similar to the events of the trailer. I'll be using the information from these articles to add further context to some of the footage. Anyways, let's go ahead and analyze the first shot of the trailer, which shows Batman making his way to Ace Chemicals with a Batmobile. For those who don't know, in the comics it is here that Joker fell into a vat of chemicals, which is how he got his trademark green hair, white skin, and red lips. In Arkham Knight, it seems as though Ace Chemicals will be used by Scarecrow as a factory of sorts to mass produce his new and enhanced fear toxin, along with the bombs that will be used to spread it. We are then shown the Arkham Knight taking down the only way into Ace Chemicals using the missiles on his chopper. This scene marked the beginning of the E3 2014 closed doors demo. According to various articles, after this happens, Gordon walks up to Batman and asks him, "Friend of yours?" Batman simply replies, "Stay here, I'll go find out." Moving on, we get to hear Scarecrow, voiced by the very talented John Noble, talking to the Arkham Knight. He starts out by saying that, in death, he has nothing left to fear.
In death, he has nothing left to fear.
I think what he means is that it's too early to kill Batman, and that he hasn't suffered enough, saying this to hold the Arkham Knight back from killing Batman. My assumption is that Scarecrow wants to do something similar to Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, force Batman to watch his beloved city crumble and make his greatest fears a reality before being granted permission to die. Now, you may notice that in this shot, the screen displays the words, "System Override." From what I gathered from past footage, many of Arkham Knight's military vehicles will be unmanned and automated. I believe this is Rocksteady's way of getting around the restriction that Batman can't kill, since unmanned automated vehicles means that players can take them down without restraint. In this particular case, the Arkham Knight did a manual override on one of his choppers to take down the bridge and greet Batman himself. Scarecrow then says the following:
Keep him away from Ace Chemicals. Your vengeance will come.
The identity of the Arkham Knight is still shrouded in mystery, but at least we now know that whatever rivalry he has with the Batman is personal. He wants vengeance. In fact, according to impression articles from the closed doors E3 2014 demo, the Arkham Knight absolutely despises Batman on a level that not even Scarecrow understands. The articles also noted that the Arkham Knight seems to know a lot about Batman, which means whoever the Arkham Knight is might have been close to Batman at some point in his life. One thing that's clear is that there is a very deep connection between Arkham Knight and Batman, and this I believe is the key to uncovering the mysterious villain's secret identity. To achieve vengeance, the Arkham Knight will be teaming up with Scarecrow. From what I can tell, the Arkham Knight will provide Scarecrow with the army and resources necessary to aid him in achieving his evil plot, while Scarecrow will provide the means to allow the Arkham Knight to fulfill his revenge. Speaking of the Arkham Knight's army, we get to hear Batman and Oracle talk about him.
Oracle, whoever this guy is, he's assembled an army.
Got something here from a black ops team operating in Venezuela. There's nothing but speculation on their commander, though. The only thing sources agree on is his name, the Arkham Knight.
Batman states that whoever this guy is, he's assembled an army. Oracle replies that she got intel from a black ops team in Venezuela, stating that apart from speculation, all that is known about the army's commander is that he goes by the name the Arkham Knight. According to E3 2014 impressions, it is revealed that the Arkham Knight had a compound in Venezuela, where he trained himself and his army before coming to Gotham. I believe this is yet another clue that will lead us to discovering the villain's identity. Before we proceed, I would like to go back a few seconds to analyze some of the shots we skipped, starting with this shot of Batman's new detective mode. Like in past games, armed guards will be highlighted orange. Also, the ability to zoom into first-person view makes a return. Batman proceeds by making his way down to enemy territory, during which we are shown one of the game's new features, fear takedowns. Using this new move, Batman can stealthily take down up to 3 enemy patrol in succession as long as they are in relatively close proximity. When players are close enough to one of the guards, they can tap the square button to begin executing this move. To proceed with the other takedowns, players must pan the camera to the next target and hit the square button again. But as I mentioned before, the game limits this move to 3 takedowns, although I wouldn't be surprised if certain upgrades allowed for more. Something else I would like to point out are the various prompts that appear while performing fear takedowns. They all seem to be ways to exit takedown mode and escape into hiding. I'm assuming that available commands will vary depending on the environment. For example, when executing fear takedowns in areas without grates, I'm assuming that the escape takedown grate option will not be available. Batman then proceeds by hacking something. From what I can tell, he seems to be hacking one of the Arkham Knight's drones that are surveying the facility, which received a mention during the E3 2014 demo.
The area is heavily protected by the Arkham Knight's drone forces.
Using the drone, Batman manages to find Ace Chemicals workers being held prisoner, whom he plans to rescue and then hopefully gain some intel about Scarecrow's location, as well as the location of his fear toxin bombs. Batman then starts making his way to one of the workers, using yet another new move to enter a building. Rocksteady promised that unlike in past games, Batman can seamlessly enter buildings without any loading times, making Arkham Knight the first true open-world Arkham game. Batman then proceeds by making quick work of the guards using the game's trademark fluid combat. A big emphasis of the game is environmental interaction. Players will be able to use the myriad of objects found throughout the game to take down enemies, as shown here. Found in this building is a switch that allows Batman to open the facility's main entrance. After doing so, he switches to the Batmobile's remote control mode. That's right folks, players can control the Batmobile even while it's unmanned. It's hard to say how many of the vehicle's many features will be enabled in this mode, but one that can be used is the Afterburner, which is the boost provided by the jet engine behind the Batmobile. Using the Afterburner, the Batmobile makes its way into Ace Chemicals, and then we are shown how Batman can seamlessly enter the Batmobile. One of Rocksteady's biggest focus was ensuring that the transition between Batman and the Batmobile felt as smooth and seamless as possible, without unnecessary delays like opening the door, turning on the car, and extra steps that you'd find when getting into cars in games like Grand Theft Auto. In Arkham Knight, there's just getting in and getting out, nothing more. Also seamless is the switch to battle mode, which essentially turns the armored car into an armored tank. It looks a lot like a siege tank from StarCraft if you ask me. In this mode, the vehicle will come armed with a variety of powerful weapons, both lethal and non-lethal. And while it doesn't go as fast as it would in transportation mode, it does feature much higher range of motion thanks to its ability to strafe, along with its ability to perform short dashes to dodge and maneuver similar to the Titans found in Titanfall. Something else to note about the Batmobile's battle mode is that the HUD changes to battle mode as well, with one of its most interesting features being that it shows the trajectory of enemy projectiles. If the Batmobile is out of harm's way, the virtual trajectory will be colored green, but if it is within range, the virtual trajectory will be colored red. We are then shown another one of the Batmobile's functionalities, the power winch, which can be used in a similar fashion to how Batclaws can be used to pull vent coverings. At any point, players can hit the circle button to release the power winch, or they can continue pulling until the structure is taken down. Within this particular structure are a few soldiers who are swiftly taken down after a seamless switch between Batmobile mode and Batman mode. Moving on, the Arkham Knight makes a personal appearance to greet the Batman, during which we get to hear his voice.
Keep your guns trained up.
His voice is clearly distorted by the mask or some kind of device, so I doubt his voice will be much help when it comes to uncovering the Arkham Knight's identity. For those who don't know, the Arkham Knight will be played by James Horan, who also plays Skullface in Metal Gear Solid 5. To deal with these soldiers, the Batman proceeds by using the Batmobile's non-lethal weapon, the Riot Suppressor. Now at this point, the Batman ejected himself from the Batmobile, so the vehicle is currently in automatic function. The Riot Suppressor fires what the game calls slam rounds, which are essentially rounds that hit their target with extreme force to knock them out, instead of penetrating their internal organs like bullets would. What's cool about this weapon is that the Batmobile's AI can use it to help Batman. Here, for example, Batman strikes one of the guards, launching him in the air, and then the Batmobile proceeds by shooting one of its slam rounds to finish him off. A very cool combo. The trailer then skips a good portion of the mission and takes us to the rescue of one of the 4 worker prisoners in Ace Chemicals. Based on the information that the hacked drone provided, I think it's safe to assume that this is Mark Chung, whose information is displayed towards the bottom here. The prisoner essentially reiterates what's going on in Ace Chemicals, talking about how Scarecrow has an army backing him up and how he plans to proceed with his plans. Unfortunately, he doesn't know Scarecrow's location, which means Batman will likely have to get the intel from one of the 3 prisoners left. But before doing so, he rescues Mark Chung using his Batmobile, which features extra seating for 2 in the back for situations like this. You gotta love how it has the roller coaster seatbelts, because let's face it, anything less and he'd be bouncing all over the place. We are then shown once again a seamless transition from Batmobile mode to Batman mode as the vehicle ejects and launches our hero into the air to allow him to gracefully transition into gliding mode. It seriously looks beautiful and intuitive in motion. Well done, Rocksteady. And like in past games, players can use the grappling gun mid-air to boost and propel Batman's glide or to land on that location. Batman proceeds by gliding into enemy territory and knocking a soldier out in the process. Now this right here is interesting. Is it just me, or do the soldiers share similarities to the martial artists from Batman Arkham Origins? But unlike the martial artists, these guys wield katanas, making them all the more lethal. Now, something that Rocksteady emphasized is that what we are seeing here is actual gameplay. It's not a cutscene or an in-game cutscene, it's pure, unadulterated gameplay. All Rocksteady did was shift the gameplay's camera for a more cinematic angle. When players play the game, they'll be able to see Batman and his enemies perform all the fancy animations and moves shown here. The trailer concludes with Batman diving into Ace Chemicals once again, getting ready to rescue the rest of the prisoners, find Scarecrow, and stop his plans. We'll find out whether he succeeds or not in parts 2 and 3 of the Ace Chemicals Infiltration series, which I'll also be analyzing after their release. And with that, I would like to conclude this trailer analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to let our nation know in the comments below if I made any mistakes or if I missed anything. And to be further updated on Batman Arkham Knight, be sure to join the nation by subscribing to Young Year. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out.